Sam. Someday, of course, I'll have an opportunity to introduce you. Well, thank you for those mostly very kind remarks. It's always a pleasure and an honor to address the Council of Conservative Citizens, and I'd like to take this opportunity to express my appreciation and admiration for the people who have run this organization year in, year out, no matter fair weather, foul weather. People like Gordon Bond, Tom Dover, Leonard Wilson, Bill Rowland, Bill Lord, and all the names I'm leaving out. I just want to tell you all how much I appreciate this organization, what you've done. Doing the right thing, which you believe in, is a great and wonderful thing, and not that many people can keep it up year in and year out. Now, I'm supposed to be speaking about the diversity hoax. And as you know, everyone in this room knows that diversity is the great strength of the United States. And many people will tell you it is our greatest strength. And from the President of the United States on down, I'd say just about every political figure in this country tells us that it is our great strength. So it's bound to be true. You could fill a book with the elegies to diversity that have flowed from the mouths of American politicians. But I would like to just quote one. This was Gray Davis when he was governor of California. Gray Davis said, "My vision is to make California the most diverse state on earth. And we have people from every planet on the earth in this state." As you can see, he got a little carried away in his enthusiasm.
I just want to start out.
Now, just what is this diversity we're supposed to be celebrating? Now, some people say it's mixing up the sexes or the languages or the religions, but the true and central and most important ingredient, of course, is race. Race is what gives diversity its true charm. And for that reason, say if you had a college campus here in the United States, and the faculty and the students were all sort of evenly divided between 20 different European countries, from Sweden down to Sardinia, Britain, back to Poland. You couldn't call that diversity. 20 different countries of Europe do not result in diversity because they'd all be white. So remember, anything that is all white cannot, by definition, enjoy the strength or show the strength of diversity. So it's kind of a standing insult against white people, this notion of celebrating diversity. I think we have a very interesting example of this. In the case of General George Casey, he was in overall command of the American troops in Iraq when he said, "The strength of our army comes from our diversity." Now, you wonder, General, what does that say about every unit of American fighting men clear up until the Second World War? All of them were all white units. Were they all weaklings and wimps because they did not enjoy this wonderful diversity? Did the men who fought at Gettysburg, North and South, were they all just pitiful weaklings? This man has no idea, I think, of just the extent to which he's insulted every generation of military men that came before. But that's the kind of thing we're supposed to say and believe. Now, I suspect that General George Casey doesn't even believe it himself. I mean, when he got back from Iraq, did he report to the president and say, "Mr. President, I'm sure we could have gotten Osama bin Laden. I'm sure we could have gotten Saddam Hussein a whole lot quicker if we just had more Mexicans and Chinamen in the special forces." That is theoretically what this man believes. I'll tell you, nothing insults me more than when you have some recent immigrant telling us that diversity is the great strength of the United States. Not too long ago, I was speaking at a college campus on the defects of diversity. And some fellow, he looked like a Mexican. He got up and he gave me this little lecture on how no, I got it all wrong. Diversity was really what makes America great. I said, you realize just how arrogant and insulting you are. You're telling me that the country that my ancestors built was some sort of dung heap until you lot showed up? wound up about this. I said, the way it worked is this. My ancestors, people who look like me, built a good and successful country. Your ancestors made a mess of your country. And that's why you came here. Because you wanted to benefit from advantages that my ancestors created for me that your ancestors could not create for you. But how many white people are prepared to say that? Very few. All of us are supposed to go along with this crazy idea about how, yes, we were just poor, pitiful white people, about to choke to death on our own homogeneity.
We're bland.
By Mexicans and Haitians and Guatemalans and Cambodians. Oh, thank God they came. Now we have a real country to be proud of. So that's the official myth. That's the official myth of the United States. Diversity is our greatest strength. So theoretically, how does this diversity work? Well, if you've got the right mix of Asians and blacks and Hispanics, maybe a few white people, I don't know, throw in a few nudists, maybe some lesbians. Next thing, about 15 minutes, they would invent a cure for cancer. They've found a secret to world peace. It gets 100 miles a gallon. Diversity is supposed to be giving us all this wonderful stuff. Well, of course it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. And I don't think even the people who are mouthing these platitudes about diversity in their hearts believe it. Let's imagine that you're living in some nice neighborhood here in Nashville. And when the first blacks, Hispanics start moving in, do the homeowners look at each other and say, hot damn, look at that diversity. My property price is going to go through the roof. The next thing you know, the white people have cleared out and they're living back in a different, even further out suburb that's just as white as the one they left. In fact, the demographers will tell us that even compared to 50 years ago, white people are no more likely today to have black neighbors. In the 50 years, nothing has changed in that respect. Now, I would point out that the whole idea that every black person in America is just dying to have white neighbors, that's an insult to them too. They realize perfectly well that they are more content, by and large, with people like themselves. The notion that somehow they are all, that's their great ambition in life, is to live next door to you, it's not true at all. I think that one of the best indications of how Americans really feel about diversity comes from the way churches sort themselves out. Churches are one of those few places where you are entirely free to choose your church. There are no government regulations that say you've got to have this many people in your congregation. If churches worked the way schools did back in the 1970s and 80s, there would be government-mandated buses shipping you all around town to make sure that every church had the right mix. No. Churches reflect complete freedom of choice. And what's the result? 95% of churches have congregations that are at least 80% one race, at least 80%. And many have congregations that are 100% one race. That reflects the choices of Americans when they are genuinely free to choose. I'll give you a few more statistics about it that just go to show you how much, certainly at least white Americans, value diversity. Some of the major school districts in the country, these are major school districts, some of hundreds of thousands of students, have practically no white people left in